late night player. I've been broke as a joke, I've been a money maker. I've been a record breaker, taking credit as an educator. I've been known to spit the flows and make it shaky, shaky thing. Popping, locking, stopping, let it hang. Watch us as we drop this hip hop, it's like it stings. We make the whole room drop and everybody sing. We want the funk. We gotta have that funk. We kick it old school, we think we're so cool. We take it back to the past, we gonna act a fool. Up jumps the middle finger, make my Jaeger.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Sports Buzz, a fanatical view. I am your host, Scott D. Lewis, here live in studio, Comcast Cable, Channel 23, downtown Danbury, Connecticut, on this March 10th. March 10th, can you believe it? We're already in March. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Well,
how did this happen?
It just went by quick.
Yeah, and we were gone for a little while, but we came back for this special day. Is it a special day? I don't know, March 10th. It seems like there's something about this day. I'm not quite sure what it is.
We got a lot of stuff coming up.
We do have a lot of stuff coming up, and we got a lot of stuff that we missed.
Yeah.
That we have to get to. I know there is a special sporting anniversary on this day, March 10th. So we'll talk. I'll let that linger. I'm going to bring it up later. But
okay.
It's March. It's sports. Probably has to do with college basketball.
Oh, something that the bracket should be coming out for.
Yeah. So that's it. But we are here live. 203-792-4101 is the number. You can hear my man, right-hand man, Mr. Bob Rod Jr. already.
What do you think of this weather?
Well, it does seem like
we're not. This isn't the March that we've
70, 80 degrees in the general vicinity of the area. Today was warm again.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to rain, but
it's starting to sprinkle now. But
oh yeah. So we'll see. But Bob's show Spotlight on, and there we see a nice shot of him with his camera. Spotlight on Tuesday nights at 9. Wednesdays at 12. Mike Toohey is in there directing the show. Expose Cinema, his show Friday nights at 9. Wednesdays at 1, Mr. Mike McFadden is here. No strange silent man today, although I do have some stats from him that he sent. The return of the original production assistant extraordinaire, Mr. Connor Faco, is here, although he seems to be occupied in the green room, as it were, playing games with his sister Jenna, and the boss is here as well.
Jolene, my wife, my beautiful wife.
So we missed a bunch of stuff while we were gone. I did take a little break. If you missed it, I did do that Oscar show, so hopefully you guys check that out on Time Out with Kevin Gallagher. We had a good time doing that. But we did miss some things. One thing we missed was the Big Chili 5K race, although it's not really the chili. Are they still calling it the chili?
They're still calling it basically
the chili
it is.
cook-off is Sunday, April 3rd. But we missed the race. How did that go? Pretty good?
It went very well.
Not a bad
They had
day.
over like 240 participants.
And what about the other big news coming out of the Westerners, however, is the announcement of the celebrity breakfast and who it will be the MC, or the host, I guess, the special guest speaker on Friday, June 10th.
It will be former Big Red Machine player.
Big Red Machine, World Series champion.
Mr. George Foster.
George Foster is the man. And you have the interesting information. I never would have guessed this, but what was George Foster also formerly? He
was also the original commissioner of the NECBL.
George Foster was the original commissioner of the NECBL. They started, back in the 80s,
1994.
Right? Or 94, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty impressive. And they get him to come back. He's going to be the guy.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be talking about this coming up over the next couple months. Friday, June 10th, the celebrity breakfast, and we'll get more into that.
And that's our home opener. We're a week
playing
later
on the day of the breakfast?
Yes.
Wow. Usually it's like the day after, though.
No, the week. It's always the day of.
Another big charity event that's coming up soon. We talked about this a lot last year and the last 2 years. As a matter of fact, this is their third year. Play for Purpose announced their dates, April 28th and May 1st. And here we see the Ridgefield Jaguar Squirts winning the championship. Oh man, and guess who was, and there he is, Kaden, Kaden with
playing?
The blue hair. With the blue hair, and his buddy Will. Big thank you to Will's mom, Brooke, for letting us use these photos in the show tonight. Kaden and Will with their championship trophies. Now, rumor has it they were like the linchpins to get the victory.
Really?
I mean, I didn't see a box score, but they say the team never could have won without their efforts. Kaden and Will, the stars of the show there.
That's cool.
I'm not sure. I'm going to see Kaden this weekend on Sunday. I'll get to find out exactly how this championship went down and if he was the actual key to winning the championship.
We have a call.
We do have a call, but April 28th through May 1st, Winter Garden Arena, Ridgefield, 72-hour straight hockey game. I wonder who we have on the line. Hello, we have a caller here. How you doing? You're on the air.
Hi.
Is this the guy we just saw in the picture?
Yeah.
Kaden is calling in, my man. How you doing, Kaden?
Good.
Did you like that picture we put up of you?
Yeah.
I don't know what I got. Well, I don't know what to think about this blue hair you got going on. I'm going to see it myself in person on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. It does match your uniform, at least.
Yeah.
So you guys won the championship. How was the final game? What was the score?
4-1.
4-1. They won
Cool.
it handily. And what position do you play?
Oh, right defense.
All right, right defense. Did you get an assist or a goal, or did you just help on the defensive end?
1 assist.
1 assist.
Wow.
He is in the score sheet. All right, Kaden, very well done. We are talking about the Play for Purpose. Are you getting excited? It's coming up in about a month and a half or so. I know it's it's a big time of year for you, so you're happy about that?
Yeah.
Anything special you've heard so far about what's going to happen this year that you want to tell us about?
Yeah.
Well, what?
There might be a kids tournament.
What?
A kids tournament.
Oh, a kids tournament. Okay.
Cool. That's great.
I heard there was going to be a firefighters game, actually, Bob.
Yes, there is.
Bob is a firefighter, so he's involved with that, maybe. So a kids tournament, that would mean you would get to play then, huh?
Yeah.
So, that would be very exciting. And then there's going to be probably some more of the Rangers, old Rangers alumni coming down again like they did last year?
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting, too. All right. So what else is going on? You got anything you want to talk about? How about we want to talk about hockey? You want to talk about your Rangers? Are you excited about how they're playing this year? Are you nervous? You think they're going to win the Stanley Cup?
We're going all the way, Kaden, right?
You're nervous, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, they have won, they're 7-3-0 in their last 10 games. They're still in second place at 84 points, 2 up on the Islanders. But they have lost a couple tough games. They lost that game to the Penguins. Did they beat the Capitals recently? I think they did win that game.
So, no.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
They
did.
did beat that game.
Yeah.
They made a couple interesting trades, but still, you're nervous about them, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they got what? Like 20 games or so left in the regular season?
About that.
And then it's going to be all playoffs. So the playoffs will probably be getting going right around the time of Play for Purpose, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We play right till about, the end of April, and then playoffs start, right?
That's right. That's right. All right, Kaden. Well, we got a lot to get to on the show. We appreciate you calling in. And we want to say congratulations again on your championship. That was fantastic. We were all rooting for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And are you going to maybe come into the studio again like you did last year? We'll do an official interview as we get closer to Play for Purpose.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be looking forward to that. And tell your buddy Will we say congratulations to him too.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Kaden calls in the show. Nice. I get to spend the day with him on Sunday.
Cool.
I think we're going to watch some old Star Wars movies. I don't believe he's seen Empire Strikes Back yet.
No?
So he was very excited about the Star Wars movie that came out this year. He loved it. So now, because of that, we can get him to go back in history and watch some of the old movies. So, Kaden, if you're still watching, that's what we're doing Sunday afternoon. Empire Strikes Back. All right, let's get moving because we got a lot to get to. We missed also, I'm going to run through a couple things really quick.
Okay.
We did miss the Daytona 500. I did want to just mention it because it was the closest finish
that was
ever.
one tenth of a second.
1/10 of a second, 1/100th of a second, right?
Yeah.
Danny Hamlin, who was in 4th place in the final lap, amazingly came back and won it. He did lead the most laps at 95 laps, so good for him. He was the most dominant racer on the day, and he did end up with the victory, and very obviously close. Our guy, Connecticut native Joey Logano, finished in 6th. He never led a single lap, so not a great start for the defending champion. Remember, he did win last year. I know you and McFadden and all those guys and Strange Man even are all excited about the spring training and the start of baseball getting going.
I've been watching a lot of spring training games, especially in MLB.
I was a little bit more excited because it was real games. The kickoff of MLS this weekend, Bob. Did you see the Revolution? 3-3. What a game down in Houston against the Dynamo. They got a guy, Kobayashi. Isn't he the hot dog eating champion?
Yeah.
He scored a header with about 30 seconds left in extra time to tie it up in a thrilling game to start the season. So I did want to make mention of MLS getting underway and the Revolution with a tie to start it. A draw, as it were.
Yeah.
But baseball, I mean, spring training's, there's interesting things to pay attention to. Red Sox playing pretty well. They did win again today. Your Mets are playing pretty well. The Yankees, I looked at their record. They were like 2-6.
Yeah.
2-8 or something out of the gate.
Well, some of the spring training games, I've seen some of our former Westerns already been playing.
What's up with your guy, Yoenis Cespedes and all the cars?
Well, he's into buying, he wants to spend all that money you got
Big
quickly.
Contract, and he's showing up with a different car every day.
Yeah.
What's this, an episode of Pimp My Ride?
Yeah. He show up he came with a horse. He bought a horse.
Yeah. And then he showed up with a horse.
He bought a pig, and then of course he got rid of that.
Crazy. So but spring training, there's some interesting things to watch out for. Red Sox, most notably, the whole Travis Shaw, Hanley Ramirez, who's going to play first base.
That's
AJ
a very
Price pitched today for the first time. He looked okay. We see Dustin Pedroia hasn't shaved since before the end of last season, I guess. 'Cause he's got the beard working pretty well.
Yeah.
And of course the retirement
of Big Papi.
Big Papi. So it's his final year. But whatever. Yankees, as we mentioned, not off to a great start in spring training. Cubbies also, who are the favorites to win the World Series. I saw them at 1-7.
Yeah.
In spring training, so that is interesting as well. But it is spring training after all. The Red Sox, I would say, it's nice for them to win some games because, they didn't have a great last 2 years.
No.
Although the second half of the year was good for them. The young guns, it's all about the young players for them, I think. They got to find a way to get rid of Ramirez and Sandoval. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it. Other things that happened this week. Finally, at long last, a month later, Peyton Manning
finally retired.
Did us all a favor and announced his retirement. No questions on the HGH. A couple questions on the Tennessee sexual misconduct scandal that was buried by his father and others years and years ago. But of course, the media treats him with kid gloves.
Right.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, Tom Brady and the Deflategate saga is back in the news.
Why? What happened now?
The appeal, the NFL appeal process of the judge's ruling was back in court this past week.
Oh, God. Here we
Even
go
though
again.
science has proven time and time again that nothing happened, Roger Goodell, also the judge in that case when he overturned the suspension, proved that Roger Goodell lied to the general population and to the media about the interview with Tom Brady to try to drum up his case to suspend him. Lies from the commissioner, but is back on there. We'll see what happens with the.
Can't we just let this horse die in peace?
I would love it if they did. Interesting, though, a story that happened on the same day. Everybody thought Maria Sharapova was going to be announcing her retirement with this crazy press conference she announced, but instead she announced that she failed a drug test in the Australian Open, and this has opened up a pretty big deal. Some drug that she's been taking for the last 10 years, legally, I might add.
Legally?
But
since when is it
it's finally
legal?
been put on the banned substance list effective January of this year, and now she continued to take it after it was put on the banned list, and she is now banned from tennis, waiting to see for how long. But this could be the end of what has been a great career for her. Interesting story. We saw those pictures of her. One of her buddies who came to her defense, Caroline Wozniacki. We were looking at the Sports Illustrated pictures last time we were here.
Mm-hmm.
She donned the body paint in that issue as well. I don't know if we have those pictures or not, but maybe we do. And also, somebody else who did that was Lindsey Vonn, who her skiing season ended this year. She was doing well in the downhill, but she did bust up her knee once again. But we will go back to tennis. Bigger story than the Sharapova thing, I think, is the passing of Bud Collins.
Oh yeah, he was an
absolute legend in the journalistic field. Came out of the Boston Globe, my favorite paper, and he was an icon in the sport. One of the first guys to go from being a journalist to TV, and there he stayed for many, many years. Any big tennis event, he was there all the time. Very colorful guy, well liked by all his peers and all the players as well. So really just wanted to make a mention of Bud Collins passing away. Late 80, I think actually maybe 82 he was. So that was sad to hear the passing of a legend in the sports world from a reporting standpoint and TV standpoint. So our hats off to a great career from Bud Collins. All right, so let's keep moving because we got a lot still to get to. College basketball. Before we get to men's Huskies, we will go through one of Strange Man's stats of the week. 69 straight victories, third straight AAC championship for the Lady Huskies, 32-0. They head into March Madness undefeated as they knocked off number 21 South Florida 77-51 in that championship final for the AAC. Stewart, Strange Man's favorite player, 22.7 blocks. All right, so we'll look forward to see if they can finish another season undefeated and win another championship. I kind of expect that they will.
Because I don't think there's going to be anybody to...
And all the big games they've had this year, they've played well, which they do usually. And they got the best player in Breanna Stewart. They got the great team, and they know how to get it done. So I think they're going to...
We'll see what happens in the Final Four. That's when
the men's side of things. How did this happen, Bob?
What, the train wreck?
UConn, 21-10, finished 6th in the AAC.
Yeah.
6th. I mean, they end up being the 5th seed because SMU is not eligible for postseason play.
Right.
So that messes things up. So they do get the first round bye, and they will play Cincinnati tomorrow. We've talked about them and their matchups with Cincinnati all season long as they lost 58-57 at home, 65-60 on the road to Cincinnati already twice this year. I don't know. If they lose this game, Bob,
I think they're done.
21-11, they will be if they lose this game. I don't think they're getting into the big dance.
No.
I mean, it'll be unbelievable. What is going on? At this point, we're going to have to start asking questions of Kevin Ollie. It's just ridiculous, this team, that they would finish this season this way. They got blown out at SMU. Who cares about some of the other games they won against the lesser competition? But teams like Houston came on. They beat them at home. And Houston finished 22-8. And Tulsa at 20-10 finished ahead of them. Cincinnati, we mentioned, 22-9, finished third ahead of them. So, and Temple finished first, 14-4 in conference, Bob. Only 20-10 though, so that's an interesting situation for Temple. At 20-10 overall, 14-4 first in the conference. I don't know, they might need victories to get into the tournament as well, because we know that the AAC does not get any love from the committee. Your top 10: Kansas, Michigan State, Villanova, Virginia, Xavier, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Oregon, West Virginia, and Indiana, a surprising winner of the Big Ten, Bob.
Wow. That's cool.
Early in the season, they were thinking that they might be firing their coach. Instead, they went on a great run, won the Big Ten. A couple surprise entries already earning their berths. Yale, first time since 1962.
Wow.
They are in the
Since
Big
I was
Ten.
born.
Locally, Iona, nice when they get in. They won.
I know Iona
Holy
very well.
Cross punched their ticket last night. They only have 14 wins on the season, but they went on a postseason run, won their conference tournament. They are in. They knocked off Lehigh last night. And also interesting to note, of the top 10, Bob, first time ever that number 1 through number 10 all have at least 4 losses, and some have 7 losses. Up and down season, wide open bracket. It's going to be
this is almost
good luck picking your champion coming out of this tournament. I don't know who I'll pick. We're going to hopefully get in here next week and do a tape show and a preview of the tournament. We'll find out if we can schedule that. Let's shift gears to the NBA. Everybody, of course, talking about the Golden State Warriors setting the record at 45 straight home victories. They broke the Bulls' 44-game record just the other night. I'm more interested in
How about your Celtics?
Talking about my Boston Celtics winning
4
straight home winning streak,
Yeah.
longest winning streak for the Celtics since. I didn't notice this in Strange Man Stats of the Week. He did mention the winning streak, but he did not have this. When was the last time they had a winning streak of this long? 1991-92. Who was playing then? Larry Bird. Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish.
Yeah.
They're not walking through that door, Bob, but here we go. Celtics 14-game home winning streak. They still sitting in third place in a tight Eastern Conference, Bob, at 39-26. Right behind them, Miami at 39-27, Atlanta 36-28. Number 6, and this is where I'll bring up what happened on March 10th. 4 or 5 years ago? Number 6, Charlotte, led by King Kemba Walker, 35-28, winners of 5 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. It was the dagger by King Kemba in the Big East tournament with the jab, step back, draining the shot at the buzzer. I remember I was working that day, listening to the game on the radio, heard the call, and I went nuts as Kemba dropped another game winner. Remember that, Bob?
Right.
4 straight in the Big East tournament to win the Big East tournament. 6 straight in the NCAA tournament to win the NCAA tournament. 10 in a row in postseason play, many of which came at the buzzer with King Kemba, Cardiac Kemba, dropping it like it was hot and winning the game. Remember the good old days of the Big East, Bob?
Oh, yes.
When, people cared.
We actually had somebody in the Big East that we...
In Madison Square Garden.
You know.
I don't know what's going on there now, but nothing of any note. Celtics, though, as we mentioned, doing very well. Big game they had against the Knicks. Knicks had
the bricks.
8-point lead with about 3 minutes left or so. Somehow they could not come up with the victory. Melo visibly upset as his shot went awry, bricked it off the backboard. As the Celtics there, we saw Bradley with the layup. That was a tough shot Bradley had with about 16 seconds left because there was contact. He was falling away. He laid it in. Great run by the Celtics to close out the game and win it against the Knicks in that one. But it's going to be tough. The Celtics can't really slip up because these other teams are right behind them. They don't want to fall out of that top 4. The Cavaliers still sit up top at 45-18. Raptors at 42-20. I don't think the Celtics can catch them for second as the Raptors remain hot. Raptors also beat the Cavs recently.
Right.
So, that was a lot of things going on in the East. Sitting on the outside looking in, Detroit and Washington. I don't know if Washington can catch them. Detroit is close enough. They could. We mentioned out west. Also worth noting, the Spurs remain 54-10, only 4 games behind the Warriors, also 30-0 at home, undefeated on the season, and they play each other 3 times. So that's worth noting. Behind them, OKC, the Clippers, Memphis, Portland, Dallas, and Houston. Utah is 6 games under 500, so really it's an 8-team race, so it's not much of a race out west. West not that good this year. NHL.
How about those Bruins?
How about this? Bruins sweep the Florida 2-game trip they just had to move themselves into a tie for first place, and there we see Brad Marchand with the game winner the other night against Tampa. How about this, Bob? He has moved all the way up the goal scoring list. He is in 3rd place.
Which is
Brad
pretty
Marchand,
impressive.
3rd most goals in the league. He has been on fire for the Bruins. So they have 83 points. They sit tied with Tampa Bay as they moved ahead of Florida. Florida had been in first place in that division for quite some time, but they now are a little bit behind the Bruins and Tampa Bay with 81 points. Detroit in 4th with 75. Capitals, I mean, they remain 15 points ahead of the nearest competition for home ice throughout the playoffs. 103 points, Bob. Washington Capitals, are they for real? We know they're usually choking dogs in the postseason, but I mean, this is a pretty impressive season they're putting together. Your Rangers, way behind them in 2nd place at 84 points, but we mentioned the Islanders right behind them at 82.
The Rangers had a little bit of meltdown.
Little meltdown. Then the Islanders beat them, and the Penguins beat them recently. So a couple bad losses, but as I mentioned, 7-3-0 And they did get the captain, Eric Stahl, from Carolina. That was a pretty good pickup.
Yeah.
Bruins picked up a couple guys, and they've paid dividends already. And Pittsburgh is in 4th place. What happened to the Devils, Bob?
They fell off.
They were in the top 4.
They were in the top, and they
Now they
fallen down
have
to
2-8-0 in the last 10, so they are not doing well. They're at 69 points on the outside looking in. The Flyers at 73 on the outside looking in. Pittsburgh at 76 inside the playoff picture right now. The one good thing that the Bruins have to look forward to as the postseason starts coming up, I do not think they're going to have to worry about playing their arch rival Les Habitants Canadiens Montreal Canadiens, who only have 68 points. What happened to them? And also, Ottawa, remember, last year had that epic run to make the playoffs and earn that spot on the last day. They are sitting at 70 points. So the Bruins will be more than happy not to play the Canadiens in the postseason. We'll see if maybe they can get something going as we get in there. Out west, Chicago and Dallas at 88 points, St. Louis at 87. In the Central, LA, Anaheim, and San Jose are going to be the only 3 teams coming out of the Pacific. The other teams will be coming out of the Central. Nashville and Colorado right now holding off Minnesota. A tight race, 74 points, 72 for Minnesota. How much time we got, Bob?
We got a minute left, about just a little over a minute. But the quick thing I have to mention.
Okay, go for it.
Chick-fil-A over at the mall.
Uh-huh.
They came over to our firehouse and they gave us a really nice spread, which was really nice for because they want to do something for the firehouse.
Sure.
And they also gave Connor on his birthday. They gave him something nice as well.
That's right. It was Connor's birthday last week.
Yes.
Happy birthday. How old is Connor?
11.
All right, Connor, 11. Nice to see that he was given a new chance to come down to the station.
Yep.
We got to wish him happy birthday in person before the show started. So that was nice that he's back. Jenna, of course, did a great job while he was gone. Jenna's still here tonight.
Yep.
So we're happy to see that.
Oh, next week's St. Patty's Day.
Next week is St. Patrick's Day. We're not going to be here live next week, I do not believe. Going to try to do a taping maybe Tuesday night or something so we can maybe do that preview of the postseason. But I tell you, Bob, I am not that convinced UConn's going to be in the tournament next week.
I know, it doesn't look very good.
They're going to have to come up with a big win against Cincinnati. I don't know if they can get it done, but we'll see if they can. Cincinnati's had their number already this year twice.
Yeah.
Maybe they can turn the table, get that win, and then come back. And that tournament is in Orlando.
I know.
This year, not up here in Hartford, so they're not going to have any home
field advantage.
So we'll see what happens. All right, I think that's it.
Yep.
We are out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for Kaden for calling in, and congratulations again to his team for winning the championship. We will see you next week.
Every day,